Chinese medical Qigong. Now this is what I was looking for. So, why exactly am I reading this book on Chinese medical Qigong? Well, if you want the boring answer, I'd say it's because I'm interested in the energy pathways that are detailed in traditional Chinese medicine, and that's what this book is kind of related to. But if you want the more important, more real answer, it's because I'm simply curious about it and I don't really know much to anything about it at all. And that's because books are the best way to explore literally everything. And it's also why I think you should probably read a little more. To me, books are like this magical thing that allow you to learn new skills. It allows you to open your mind to things that you never imagined before. Like, do you remember what it was like to be a kid and then constantly be curious about the world? But maybe as time went on and you grew up, that spark of curiosity kind of got lost and it kind of made you feel like everything has already been figured out. But the more you start learning, the more you start realizing you don't know anything. And the more you start realizing that, the more magical life becomes again. Like this, for example, this is my mini library. And on this side, you'll find all the books that I'm interested in. And on this side, it's all of Alia's stuff. So you can take really any interest of mine and you're gonna find a bunch of books on it here. This is for chess, Eastern religion and philosophy, interior design, feng shui, Chinese tea, healing. We have things about different tribes in India. All of the things that I find so interesting, they're all right here. So it's not even really like a library. It's more like a giant collection of cool skills to learn, of cool things I'm interested in. They're like a bunch of different real life movies that I could play out just by plugging into one of them. It's the coolest thing ever.
Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou.
But you know, reading it really wasn't always this way for me. I actually used to really hate it. In fact, I couldn't imagine spending more than 5 minutes having to sit down and read a book. It sounded like the most boring thing you could possibly do. But I learned that was just because I was doing it wrong. So back when I was in high school, I remember I hated reading. I never did any of the reading for any of the essays, any of the literary assignments. Nothing was done. I used to go on Spark Notes and just do it all like that. But when I think back to it, I probably would have done the same thing now because the books that I was reading, they were so boring. I also had assignments then to overthink everything that I just read and have to write a couple page paper about it. I mean, that's awful. That's no way to read. It literally sucks all of the joy out of reading. So that's why for the longest time, I thought that I hated reading. I thought that I hated books, but that all changed when I found Tai Lopez.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here.
Tai Lopez is that make money online guru that was really popular around like 2016, 2017. And I remember around that time, I was just like 17 years old and I bought his course. And actually, the main thing was about reading.
Knowledge.
And I remember being so disappointed because he was sharing about how, you need to read so much. And I was like, well, I hate reading. But he gave some book recommendations. And when I cracked into them, I started to learn that in these books hold real skills that I can develop and improve myself in so many different ways. And that was kind of like how I got into the whole reading process. But during that time, I was still in high school, So I used to have to still read those boring books and the essays. And what I ended up doing is I used to skip English class. I used to actually go to the bathroom, take my book with me, and I used to read the books that I used to actually like. And I did this so many times. So fast forward to now, I love books. Books have changed my life in so many ways. They gave me so many skills in business. They gave me so many skills in life. They opened my mind, let me see things from different levels, and taught me how to be curious again, which is the best thing ever. Like, this is really interesting. In traditional Chinese medicine, they have 5 different elements, which is a little bit different than the 4 elements that we have in the West, water, earth, fire, and air. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's fire, water, earth, metal, and wood. a little bit different. But these 5 elements, they're not just related to, the outside world, but they're actually related as well to 5 different key organs in our body. It's because of that they can be used and employed for medicine. And that's just one small, tiny fraction of traditional Chinese medicine. It's stuff like this that you just never come across. It's stuff that you would never know and you're not taught in school. And all of those things, to me, the things that I wasn't taught in school, tend to be the things that I find the most interesting, because they're not just institutionally taught. You actually have to get out and go on an adventure for yourself and explore and find the information. And sometimes the information itself isn't maybe the most fun, but the process of exploring and discovering something new and that you've never even imagined before, that's the fun part. But maybe you're like me, where you had some reading trauma, and even the sound of reading more makes you feel bored and tense and like, ew, get it away. But I can pretty confidently tell you that the only reason why you're feeling those feelings is because you've been doing reading wrong. See, it doesn't need to be so complicated like it is in school. It doesn't need to be rigid. It doesn't need to be hard or difficult. It's supposed to be enjoyable. So guess what? You can read as many books at a certain time as you want. You don't have to finish it front to back. You don't have to even go chronologically. You could skip around. You could read for as little as you want or for as long as you want. There are literally no rules. Read anything that you want. It doesn't matter if it's nonfiction, fiction, self-improvement, spirituality, any genres in any category. Just read whatever makes you happy to read, because that's all that matters, is that you're enjoying it. Go pick out some books that remotely interest you and fall in love with reading, because I guarantee you're gonna like it. It's gonna make your life so much more interesting. It might even make you a little bit more interesting of a person. But yeah, guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments if you did. I know I tried a little different of a format today, so I'm quite curious to see what you have to say. But anyway, I will see you guys in a couple days. Subscribe for more. Peace out.